Well, hello everybody. Aaron here from Envisioned Eden and Cyclics, of course, online. Just wanted to take some time in a video here and just kind of talk. Um, I had a request from Robert Brown, and he liked the talking videos that I've done, so he's like, "Where's your talking videos?" So here you go, Robert. Robert's in England, I believe, and he's quite an accomplished musician. Recently, I watched a video from Rick Graham, which he was talking about what technique is to players, or what gear means to people, and how people take technique and over apply it, or they over apply focus on gear and things of that nature. And just to wrap it up in a nutshell, in my opinion, the tone and the nuances and a lot of the expressiveness of a player comes from your hands. I mean, it starts here. I remember hearing a story where Ted Nugent wanted to play through Eddie Van Halen's gear to see if it would sound like Eddie Van Halen, and Ted Nugent plugged in and sounded like Ted Nugent, even through Eddie's Marshall or whatever he was using at the time. So again, comes from your hands, practice, and for the most part, try not to take what other players say too seriously, or how they play. Don't over, apply what you're learning from other people into your style, because then you're just going to sound like them. I have a lot of instructional DVDs myself, and I just kind of sit down and watch it like a movie. A little bowl of popcorn and guitar is not even in my hand, and I'm just kind of watching these videos, and just kind of, you can still see what they're trying to do and how they're approaching the instrument. But overall, I think the guitar is pretty healthy. A lot of great players in the world. And more and more are starting to sound like individuals, which, I try to do myself. At times I can't help that a lot of my influences kind of bleed through, but for the most part I try to not listen to guitar. A lot of times I'll just listen to jazz, listen to horn players, your John Coltrane's, your Sonny Rollins, Miles Davis, and kind of absorb what they're doing. It's all just painting with sound. I mean, if you are a painter, you apply different colors to make your painting interesting, and how you apply color, or how you work with shapes, is what signifies or distinguishes one painter from the next. So guitar is much the same. Your approach becomes more unique when you just focus on what you're doing. And for the most part, if people are out there, they're uninspired, join the club. Everybody, needs a break. And a lot of times what I do is I just put the guitar in my hands, and I'm not necessarily saying, oh, I'm going to sit down and practice, And I'll just sit down on the sofa unplugged for, 2, 3, 4 hours, and just play, the radio in the background, and just kind of noodle along with classical music or jazz or things like that. And then, you subconsciously start applying, the modes, and you can start understanding how they're doing turnarounds in classical music. A lot of times they'll turn things around with the fifth and fourth, so they'll jump an interval to let's say the perfect fifth, and then they'll just jump another fifth to change the key or modulate or whatever you want to call it. But music's really not as complicated as one might think. It's 12 notes, and however you want to do them, as long as it sounds good, and however you arrange what you do, if it's pleasing to your ear, then that's all that matters. You know, mathematically, it all can be figured out, and you know, it can be deciphered, and you know, people can say, oh, well, this is what you did, and it's not really that important to know technically or theoretically what you're doing. It's just you're called to play the instrument. But you know, for the most part, you know, online, Facebook, you know, has been great. I don't really spend a lot of time on Facebook, and I try to promote, you know, envisioneden.com wherever I can. I'm an independent artist. Christina and myself started our own site, you know, like a year ago, and we're already approaching, like, I don't know, it's like we're shooting for 1 million clicks or 1 million views, and we're like, you know, just under halfway there, and it's been like probably about 4 or 5 months, 6 months, I think. With Nature of Dreams, we've had that up online for like 3 months at Google Play. And the EP's doing okay. It's consistent. It's not like a major label release where, you know, we have all this muscle to promote, and so it's just, you know, you get a purchase here, a purchase there. The EP Nature of Dreams is no joke. I mean, we had it mastered. A friend of ours, and he is out west, and we're out east here in Philadelphia, just outside of it anyway. But you know, YouTube is pretty good too. It's kind of quieted for me because I don't really spend as much time there, so I've seen my subscribership kind of diminish a little bit, and but I don't take it too seriously. And other people have been very supportive. People like Rick Morosini, hey Rick, what's up? Craig Chicks, Steve Zarazin, James Noble, you know, Kevin Hockett. These are all people. My friend Tony Ivanacek, Infrared Mind Shift, he's on YouTube. You know, all these people that I've associated with in, you know, my time online and even in real life, have been very supportive, and I'm blessed to have that. We do appreciate it, both Christina and myself. Being an independent artist in this, you know, kind of Wild West age, and the young, the youthfulness of the internet, it's a rather new idea. It's only really been around for maybe 15, 20 years, right? Music's been along for a lot, you know, longer period. But applying it to a business sense, for the most part, if you're playing in a band, I'm sure playing out live would be the key. You know, then you can play and actually get paid. You're not sitting at home waiting for people to download your music, because chances are not that many are going to download it anyway. But when they do, it's awesome, and you get great reviews, great support. Right now, I'm actually, you know, still, you know, struggling basically to survive in real life, and her and I keep putting our heads together to what direction, and we're talking with a lot of producers, and a lot of times these producers have great credits and everything, but they're actually looking for the business just as much as we are. So, you know, we don't really get anything accomplished by communicating too long with these types of people, because they ultimately want to get paid, and we're musicians and artists. I mean, I have a day job. I'm soon to have 2 day jobs, and Christina works very hard as well. So, you know, we're just very thankful, and let's see what else is going on. So you got YouTube, you got your Facebook, your Twitter. I don't really I don't really tweet much, but we like film. I like movies. We watch a lot of movies. We don't have cable. We don't really want the information, of, the propaganda and media and politics and all these things going on. I'm sure I could sit here for a whole video and talk about how truly messed up everything is. But her and I really like to remain positive. But, I mentioned Rick Graham earlier, and he did a great, amazing thing for himself. He turned himself around. He did a transformation, and he's really into this, the bodybuilding, and still maintains a great amount of time to practice his instrument. Rick Graham's phenomenal. He's sets the bar high for all of us players. And again, I look at what they do, somebody like a Rick Graham, or even I mentioned Rick Morosini, and people that, that I are my peers, that are contemporaries anyway. And it's great because you can just absorb kind of what they're doing and kind of noodle on the side and see if I can keep up, Another great player too is Marshall Harrison. Of course, there's Daryl Gable, Tom Quayle, Domjan Pajnowski, or he's got a kind of an odd name in the spelling anyway, but Domjan's great. But, for the most part, I just wanted to communicate with everybody that even though I don't spend a lot of time making videos, I put some Sick Licks things together. I saw Guitar World with Glenn Proudfoot, who's a great player as well. I saw that they had Sick Licks on Guitar World at their site, and he changed it now to Alien Guitar Secrets or something like that, which sounded hauntingly familiar to Steve Vai's Alien Love Secrets, which I thought was kind of interesting. But he doesn't use Sick Licks anymore. I kind of sent Guitar World a message about starting Sick Licks back in 2006, and they didn't start popping up on Guitar World with Glenn's stuff till 2012. And so Sick Licks will continue. They're just exercises. Again, I don't really spend a lot of time working with other musicians at this point. Her and I are kind of alone in our endeavors, and we just record, when we can. And, I just wanted to tell you guys, we worked really hard on Nature of Dreams, and doing all the music, of course, arranging everything and programming. I mean, with the drums, it was all software and programmed, real drum sounds. But BFD2 worked great for me because I can just, create the backdrop for her amazing talents and awesome voice and wonderful message that she conveys in her creative arena, so to speak. So all I'm doing in the Envision Eden application is just trying not to embarrass myself, because she's the star and I'm I'm the man, I'm behind the scenes kind of thing. So I did the drums, I did the bass, did all the guitars. So I just kind of created the backdrop again. But I just wanted to say thank you guys all for the support. If you weren't mentioned in this, I mean, sheesh, don't feel bad. I could sit here and rattle off 100 names. I just wanted to kind of make this relatively brief. But thank you again, and I hope everything is going well for everybody and their families, and in this tough economy and everything. I wish all of you the best, and give your music, all that you can. Don't, put too much pressure on yourself, because everything is just completely chaotic anyways. So do your thing. Thank you. And until next time. And Robert Brown, there's your talking video, and there'll be more to come. Take care.